Hey guys, I haven't done a Facebook Live video in a while, and this one isn't really even all to do about books, although I do have some book information to share with you. But it's more about everything that's been going on and what's been weighing on my heart. So my gym opened up for the first time in 2 months today, and I got to go in, and it was amazing. And it wasn't the same as it was, but it was great to get to see people and to get to be pushed and to have a great workout. And I took a picture as I left to send to my fitness coach, but I was thinking like, oh, when I throw this up on Instagram, and then I thought, oh, I can't, because with everything that's happening, like, why would I throw up this picture about my selfie and how good I'm feeling with my workout when, you know, the world is like collapsing around us. And so I think that's kind of important to really like focus on. I've seen a lot of Facebook posts from my friends. I've got friends on both sides. I've got friends who are totally for the peaceful protests, and for everybody who is protesting peacefully, I stand with you. I also have friends who are saying that we should burn everything down, and I can't get behind that. I know that people are saying, well, that's the only way we can have a voice, but I don't think that tearing our country down is the way to move forward. Exploiting lawlessness is not going to be making the country that we want to live in. So I've seen a lot of my white friends as well who have sat to the side and said, I don't know what to do because I'm white. And I'm right there with you. I grew up in Texas. I knew one black person my whole life until I moved out of Texas because it wasn't very racially diverse. So I haven't been through profiling and things like that, but I have seen it happen to people. And so I think for everybody who, hi Stephanie, is wondering like, what can I do, right? Maybe you can't even protest because of the COVID or whatever. You don't want to be out, or it's just really dangerous where you are because some of the protests are really dangerous. I want to liken this to teaching. You know, like we all know that bullies exist in school, and I know it's not the same. So please don't anyone jump on me and be like, bullies are not the same as cop brutality. But in school, the one thing that we teach kids is you can't just watch it happen and say, I'm glad that's not me, and walk away. Or even worse, be one of those kids who videotapes it and shares it and laughs about it because it's not happening to you. And I think as a culture that we have sat back and taken that passive approach of it's not happening to me, therefore I'm not gonna do anything about it. And I think that is what has allowed this problem to continue, right? Unfortunately, we still have people who are racist in this country. I can't wrap my head around it because God created all of us and he doesn't care what color we are or what gender we are or anything like that. Like, that's not the purpose and why God created us. We are beautiful to him, every single one of us. But there are people who are still racist. And I think when we see it happen and we don't stop it, we don't step up and say something, that is then grabbing this trail that we're just letting it happen. We're being those bystanders who are then giving our silent approval because we're not disapproving of it. And so that's something that I want to challenge us as we go forward in trying to heal this nation is, you know, there are things probably that are going to happen that you can't get behind, like the rioting and the looting. I can't get behind that. I'm sorry. I will never, ever say that that's okay. That's not how you get your point across. But everybody can stand up if they see it happen and say something and say, this is wrong, this should not be happening. You know, if you see someone getting picked on, if you see someone getting profiled, like, it's okay to step out and say, that's not who this person is, and you're judging them based on their skin color, or you're judging them based on, you know, you don't know them. Like, we need to start standing up and saying that judging people without knowing them is not okay. That's not okay, right? We also need to stop putting people into groups. And this is mainly about the law enforcement. What happened with George Floyd was awful. And those cops, while I don't know them personally, made very bad decisions on that day. I don't think anybody can argue that. And it seems like at least the one who was mostly responsible had made some pretty bad decisions regardless, because he had several complaints against him. But to say that all cops profile is also wrong, because there are a lot of good cops out there who do not. My brother is in law enforcement. My coach is ex-law enforcement. There are good cops out there. And so to say that all cops are bad is just as bad as anything else. Like we have to stop grouping people by the actions of a few, right? The actions of a few do not go to the actions of everybody. Hey, Kate. So that's the other thing, is on both sides, we have to stop doing that, because I keep hearing people say, well, you know, all the whites are against all the blacks. No, that's not the case. Like, there are bad people. There are bad people in every occupation. There are bad people in every culture. There are bad people in every race. Unfortunately, we are a broken world, right? And so bad people exist. Or sometimes it's just good people who do bad things. But we have to stop lumping everybody together. One of my friends posted calling the cops terrorists in blue. That does nothing. They're not terrorists. They're people who made very bad mistakes. Maybe they were even very bad people. I'm not going to say that because I don't know them. But that moment in time was very bad, right? But calling all cops terrorists, that does nothing to heal what's happening in the world. So I don't know, as I was thinking about this, people are saying, like, you need to be out and saying something, not to me, but I mean, just in general, because if you're not standing for something, then what are you for? And so I felt like, especially if I want to go and post about something that is important to me, I've been working on, you know, that seems crazy in the midst of all of this, that I needed to at least say what's been on my heart. And that is that I don't think anybody, at least nobody that I'm friends with, saw what happened and said, oh, it was just a misunderstanding. Like, no, that was seriously very, very wrong. Hi, Connie. Hi, Kathy. But I also think we need to step back and say that the looting and the rioting and the destruction that's now costing millions of dollars and will take years to rebuild, especially in this pandemic, is also wrong. I've seen so many stories of store owners who were not big corporations, and again, not that that makes a difference, but these were small business owners who either hadn't gotten back to work yet because of COVID, or had just gotten back to work because of COVID, and now their stores are destroyed, and they didn't have insurance. There's no insurance for looting. Nobody covers that, right? So they're having to totally rebuild from scratch, and destroying people who had nothing to do with this is also not okay. And I think we need to get behind that as well. Like, I want to stand and I want to protest, but that is not okay. It's not okay to go and destroy someone else's property who worked really hard for it, who had nothing to do with this situation. But it's also not okay to stand by and just watch it happen. And so that is my challenge to us, especially for those of us who are not of African American descent, who haven't lived through what they're living through, because there are parts of it I don't understand. But we can all be the change that we want to see. And we can all be those people who step up and say when we see it, this is not okay. And that is probably not the be all end all, y'all. I'm sure there's way bigger things we need to be doing, but we can start there, and everybody can do that part, right? We can all step up and say, this is not okay, and I'm not going to let this continue when we see it happen. And I think that will be a very small step that will start the culture changing in a very healing way, which has to happen, because right now it is so divided. I mean, there are parts that are unified, but then there are parts that are so divided, and that's not how this country is going to heal. Okay, so that was a lot off of my chest. I did tell you that I was going to say a little bit about books. And that is just this. I have decided to take my books out of KU and put them wide. So they will be available everywhere. And I've done that for a couple of reasons, partly because KU keeps dropping the rates that they pay us for page reads. And also because there's so many people who are out of work right now and who are borrowing from libraries. And I feel like my books have hope in them, and I want them to be in more libraries. And so I'm putting them wide so that they can be in more places and they can be in libraries. We're also doing a USA Today Bestseller Run. Again, it seems crazy to be talking about that in the midst of all of this. But the charity is the money is going to a really good charity for Pets for Vets. So if you haven't picked up a copy of our Sweet Kisses box set and you would like to help support Pets for Vets, then I will put a link in where you can do that below and help us support this charity, along with helping us hit the USA Today bestseller list. I know everything's kind of heavy and it's hard to see the good sometimes in the little things, but I think it's also still important. And so I hope that you don't censor yourself like I did about wanting to post pictures, and that you still do it. knowing that you're doing what you can on the side. And then when you hear things come up that you can step in and help with, that you do that too. Hey, Mom. Hey, Anita. Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything. I will post my picture. I don't know if you guys know, I've been kickboxing for about 14 years. And I was trying to lose weight, and my coach kept saying, "Oh, you need to take up running." And I hate running. But I decided in February, maybe early March, that I was going to start running a couple of times a week, a mile each time, right? And then the shutdown happened, and I couldn't go to my gym, and I hung a bag in my front yard, but it is so not the same. And so I started doing these virtual challenges where I run, and I ran 54 miles last month. I know, right? It's crazy. So I got my new shirt in today that says "I train like Thor," and I wore that to the gym, and I felt really powerful because I was still in really good shape from running so much. So, that's another thing. They don't say that you can't do something, because when you try, you'll be surprised by what you actually can do. Anyway, I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope that you are getting out more than we are. We're in phase 2, but we're still pretty locked down. I'm hoping that I can get out and go see my mom in Texas this summer and have a little more fun. But I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope that you are praying, because I know people say the prayer is cheap who don't know God, but God is powerful, and He is bigger than all of us, and He has plans, and He can do amazing things if we reach out. And so I hope that in addition to standing up for when you see stuff that's not right, that you're also praying and remembering that God is more powerful than we even know. So that being said, it's good to see you guys. I'll do more of these soon, but I just had to share and hopefully bring some more positivity to everything that's going on, because I don't know about you, but the news is pretty depressing right now, and it breaks my heart on all sides. So I'll put the link below if you guys want to help us out and help out a really good charity, and start looking for my books in libraries. You can go ask them. If they don't have it, they can order it now. They should even be appearing at Walmart soon, so that'll be fun. Maybe not on the shelves, but again, you could order them from walmart.com. So that's what I've got going on. And right about now, it's time to go write some more. And then get some dinner. So again, hope you guys are staying safe, and I hope that you are praying, and I miss you all. Can't wait to see you. All right. Love you guys. Bye.